Hello everyone. So today let us take a look at this question on the community. And the question is hiding fields and field values based on a status or a particular transition that you make to reach a status. Now, this is of course not possible on at least on cloud, where you may have maybe few custom fields that you want to hide, or basically the values that you may have in those custom fields based on a specific status. And I'm trying to understand the use case where this is applicable. But irrespective of the use case, the answer is that this is of course not possible on Jira Cloud. For example, if you're looking at these fields, let me try to find out maybe an issue where I may have few fields. Now on cloud, if you have a field like baseline start date or hardware categories, even if these fields don't really have the values, these fields, or at least the label, will appear. Now, as per the question, the requirement is to either hide this field or basically field with a label completely, which is not really possible on cloud. On server, using a scripter for Jira, you can do a lot of wonderful things, but on cloud, this is of course not really a possibility. And the way it works, and the reason I'm creating this video is because I'm trying to explain how fields work. Now in Jira, there is a concept of screens, and screens are nothing but, as the name suggests, it is a screen that will have fields. Now these fields on the screens can also be organized using tabs. For example, if you want to have different tabs, that can also be done. But on cloud, of course, this UI is slightly different, where you have these fields appear on the right hand side, and irrespective of their value, or if they don't even have any value, the field labels will still be displayed. Now, if you make a transition, you can somehow, if you're able to do it using a REST API and automation, you can probably do it. But of course, that is not really going to be a proper solution. I don't really want to recommend it. But if you look at the features, the moment you make a transition, for example, I may want to have a status called, let us say, hide 10 fields. And the moment you make a transition, the fields will stay on that particular screen, because you can probably ask the user to get rid of the field values while you're making a transition, and you can ensure that those field values are maybe removed, or maybe you can actually remove those field values using a post function, or maybe using an automation rule. But I think the main requirement here, when you say hiding means hiding a field. So that is of course not really possible. And I'm still trying to figure out a practical example where this can be applicable or useful, because if you talk about screens in Jira, as I mentioned, screen is nothing but a collection of different fields, but these screens are associated with Jira issues on 3 different operations. Operation number 1 is when you're looking at your Jira issue, which is the view screen. Operation number 2 is when you make, let us say, an edit to your Jira issue. Maybe you are trying to edit a field, or maybe you're trying to make a change. And the third screen is the screen where you make a transition, or you basically, this particular transition screen is not really associated with the operation of the issue. because it is associated with the workflow transition. So you have, in fact, I should say 4. You have create, view, and edit screen. Create screen means that when you click on the create button on top, you have a screen. Then, of course, view and edit. But the workflow transition is, of course, different, which is associated with the workflow. Now, to hide the field completely, I'm not really convinced whether this has any practical use case. But in any case, I just wanted to mention that this is of course not really possible, at least on cloud. On server, if you have a script now for Jira, you can potentially use behaviors to hide a field if you want. And you can of course do a lot of other things when you have a script now on server. And that is all I wanted to talk about today in this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new today. Thank you very much.